What if everything you believe about reality is an illusion? What if time isn't moving forward the way you think it is, and instead you are shifting between infinite versions of yourself, moment by moment? What if the world around you, the people you meet, the events you experience, are not happening to you, but are being shaped by your own consciousness? Science, spirituality, and ancient wisdom have long hinted at something reality-shattering. You are not a passive observer of the universe. You are its creator. Quantum physics is now confirming what mystics and sages have whispered for centuries, that your thoughts, your awareness, and your very act of perceiving the world are actively shaping it. Right now, you exist in a quantum field of infinite potential. Everything you desire, every version of yourself already exists in a state of possibility, waiting for your consciousness to observe it into being. But if that's true, then why do so many people feel stuck? Why does reality seem fixed, unchangeable, rigid? The answer lies in a phenomenon so strange, so powerful, that it rewrites everything you've ever known about existence. In the world of quantum mechanics, a particle exists in multiple states at once, a wave of probabilities, until someone observes it. The moment it is measured, it collapses into a single reality. This is known as the observer effect, and it is the first clue that consciousness is not separate from the universe. It is the force that gives it form. Think about what this means. The universe is not an independent mechanical system running on its own. It responds to you. It molds itself to your awareness. Every second, every thought you hold, every belief you reinforce is collapsing one potential reality into the one you experience. You are not merely watching reality unfold. You are choosing which version of reality becomes real. But that's just the beginning. There is something even stranger happening beneath the surface of reality, a mystery so profound that even Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. It's called quantum entanglement. When two particles become entangled, no matter how far apart they are, even across galaxies, an action performed on one instantly affects the other. There is no delay, no separate, just an immediate, undeniable connection. This suggests something extraordinary, that space itself is an illusion, that everything, everywhere is already connected at a level deeper than physical reality. And if particles can be connected beyond time and space, what does that mean for you? Could your mind, your emotions, your very consciousness be entangled with the world around you? Have you ever thought of someone just before they called you? Have you ever had a feeling, a deep knowing, only to have it confirmed later? Perhaps these moments are not coincidences at all. Perhaps they are glimpses into the true nature of reality, a reality where consciousness is not limited by distance, where thoughts ripple across the fabric of the universe, where time itself is not what it seems. And time, that is the next great illusion. You've been taught to think of time as linear, a past that leads to the present, a present that moves into the future. But physics tells a different story. Einstein's theory of relativity shattered the very idea that time is fixed. He discovered that time is flexible, elastic, even subjective. The faster you move, the slower time becomes. At the speed of light, time stops altogether. And in the quantum world, time doesn't just slow down, it ceases to exist. Scientists studying quantum mechanics have found that particles can be in two places at once, that they can influence each other across time, that a choice you make now can determine what happened in the past. Let that sink in. The future influencing the past. The idea that events are locked in, immovable, is a limitation of perception, not a law of nature. So what does this mean for you? If time is an illusion, then the past does not define you. The future is not something you are waiting for. You are moving through infinite versions of yourself, selecting them moment by moment. The only thing holding you to a particular version of reality is your belief in it. Every choice you make, every thought you hold, is shifting you into a different timeline, a timeline where you are more abundant, more fulfilled, more awakened, or a timeline where you repeat the same patterns, the same struggles, over and over. What if you could break free? What if you could step beyond the illusion and consciously shift into the reality you desire? The truth is you can. Because behind all of this, the observer effect, quantum entanglement, the illusion of time. There is something even greater, a force that science is only beginning to glimpse: the quantum field. The quantum field is the underlying fabric of existence, a vast ocean of energy and potential where everything that could ever be already exists. It is the space from which all things arise: the atoms in your body, the stars in the sky, even your thoughts and emotions. This field does not operate by the rules of the physical world. It is not bound by time or distance. It responds to frequency, to vibration, and your consciousness is a transmitter, constantly sending out signals into this field. The emotions you feel, the beliefs you carry, the intentions you set, they all generate frequencies that ripple through the quantum field, drawing matching realities toward you. This is why those who dwell in gratitude, in abundance, in certainty, seem to attract more of it, and why those trapped in fear, in doubt, in scarcity, seem to reinforce the very circumstances they wish to escape. Your mind is not just thinking thoughts, it is generating reality. And this has been known for centuries, long before quantum physics gave us the scientific language to describe it. The ancient mystics, the sages, the enlightened beings, they all spoke of the same truth in different ways. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You create your own reality. The universe is within you. These were not just poetic phrases, they were instructions, and now science is catching up, revealing that the universe itself is a living conscious system, responding to the energy you emit. So, the question is, what will you choose? Because in this moment you are standing at the edge of infinite possibilities. Your consciousness is the key, the architect of your experience. The reality you desire is not something distant. It is not waiting for you in some far-off future. It is here, now, vibrating in the field of potential, waiting for you to claim it. The illusion of separation, the illusion of limitation, the illusion of time itself, once you see through them, you can never go back. You are more powerful than you've been led to believe. You are not in the universe is in you. Everything you experience, every sensation, every thought, every encounter, is not happening outside of you. It is happening within you. Your mind is not simply observing the world, it is actively generating it. The great mystics have always known this. The sages, the yogis, the spiritual masters, they all spoke of the same truth long before quantum physics confirmed it. But here's the part that changes everything. You don't need to be a mystic, a monk, or a scientist to apply it. You are already doing it. Every second of every day, you are collapsing wave functions, entangling energies, shaping the field with your attention. The only question is, are you doing it consciously? Because right now, most people are not. They wake up every day expecting the same reality, the same struggles, the same limitations. And the quantum field obliges. It does not question, it does not discriminate, it simply responds. So what happens when you shift your awareness? What happens when you know, not just intellectually, but viscerally, that you are shaping reality from the inside out? It starts with your perception. Have you ever noticed that when you focus on something good or bad, it seems to expand? When you start looking for opportunities, they begin appearing everywhere. When you fixate on problems, more obstacles seem to emerge. This isn't just coincidence. This is consciousness in action. You are like a radio transmitter, tuning into different frequencies of reality. And the frequency you hold, the one you emit through your emotions, thoughts, and beliefs, is determining which version of reality you collapse into existence. This is why two people can live in the same world but experience completely different lives. One person sees only scarcity, limitation, struggle. The other sees abundance, expansion, possibility. Same world, different perception, different frequency, different quantum reality. So how do you shift? How do you step into a version of reality where you are not bound by the limitations of the past, not weighed down by unconscious programming, but fully aligned with your highest potential? It begins with awareness. Right now, in this moment, take a breath, feel the space around you. Notice that there is no past here, no future, just this, just the pure presence of being. This is the foundation of quantum consciousness, presence. The moment you stop being lost in thought, lost in stories about what happened or what might happen, you step into the only place where reality can be shaped, the now. And when you bring awareness into the now, something extraordinary happens. The mental chatter fades. The conditioned beliefs that have been running your life, the doubts, the fears, the limitations, begin to lose their grip. And in their place, a new space opens. A space where you can consciously choose. What will you focus on? What will you feel? What will you embody? Because this is where the shift happens. Most people believe they need to see external changes before they can feel different. They wait for money to arrive before they feel abundant. They wait for success before they feel confident. They wait for love before they feel worthy. But that's backwards. Quantum reality doesn't work that way. It's not cause and effect, it's cause and resonance. You become the frequency of what you desire first, and then reality shifts to match it. Think of it like a mirror. If you stand in front of a mirror and frown, you can't wait for the reflection to smile first. You must smile first, and then the reflection changes. Your reality is the same. If you want abundance, you must first feel abundant. If you want love, you must first feel love within yourself. If you want success, you must first embody the energy of success before it appears in the outer world. This is why meditation, visualization, and intention setting are so powerful. They allow you to shift your internal state, your vibration, before the external reality catches up. And it does catch up. Studies on meditation have shown that focused intention changes brain chemistry, alters neural pathways, and even influences the body's ability to heal. Research on the placebo effect reveals that belief alone can cause the body to heal itself, mirroring the effects of actual medication. This is not magic, this is quantum law. Your body, your mind, your external world, they are all patterns of energy in the quantum field. And when you shift your own energy, the field must respond. So, what are you holding on to? What stories are you telling yourself about who you are and what is possible for you? Because here's the deeper truth. The version of you that is already thriving, already abundant, already awakened, already limitless, it already exists. It is not something you have to create from scratch. It is simply a frequency you must tune into. And how do you do that? By shifting the way you see reality. Stop viewing yourself as a separate entity navigating through a fixed universe. Start seeing yourself as the universe itself, moving through different versions of experience based on your focus, your energy, your belief. The quantum field does not care about what is true. It responds to what you hold as true. If you believe reality is limited, it will be. If you believe time is rigid, it will be. If you believe transformation is slow, difficult, and rare, then that is the world you will experience. But if you shift, if you begin to know deep in your bones that reality is fluid, that time is an illusion, that change can be instant, then suddenly a new world appears before you. Not because it wasn't there before, but because you weren't looking at it. This is the ultimate awakening. Not just the realization that reality is an illusion, but the recognition that you are the one weaving the illusion. That you are not trapped in a story, you are the author. So, what story will you write? Because the moment you decide, the quantum field begins to shift. It rearranges itself around you. New possibilities emerge. New timelines open. The universe listens. And the illusion of limitation fades. You have always been free. You have always been infinite. And now, you are beginning to remember. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the reality you once believed was solid, fixed, and beyond your control was never that way at all. Imagine knowing with absolute certainty that the only limits that ever existed were the ones you accepted as true. Because that's exactly what's happening right now. You are awakening to the deeper truth. The truth that you are the quantum field. You are the observer. You are the one shaping every moment of your experience. And the more you awaken, the more the illusions begin to fade. The illusion of time, the illusion of separation, the illusion of powerlessness. You see, most people live trapped in a cycle of unconscious creation. They wake up each day expecting the same experiences, feeling the same emotions, reacting to the world as if it were happening to them. And so the quantum field responds in kind, reflecting back the same patterns, reinforcing the same beliefs, mirroring the same energy. But what happens when you break the cycle? What happens when you stop waiting for change and instead become the change? This is where reality shifts. Because the moment you stop identifying with the past, the moment you stop defining yourself by old stories, limiting beliefs, and conditioned responses, you open the door to infinite possibility. This is not just philosophy, this is physics. You are a vibrational being. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel is a frequency. And frequencies attract matching frequencies. Fear attracts more experiences that reinforce fear. Doubt attracts more evidence that supports doubt. But confidence, joy, certainty, these attract realities that reflect those states as well. The quantum field does not operate on struggle. It does not reward effort, force, or resistance. It operates on alignment. The more you align your inner state with the reality you desire, the more effortlessly that reality begins to unfold. And this is why the greatest spiritual teachers, the most enlightened beings, the wisest minds throughout history have all pointed to the same truth. The power is in the now, not in the past, not in the future, but in the now. Because the past is only real when you bring it into the present, and the future is only shaped by the energy you hold in this moment. Right now, you are standing at the threshold of infinite timelines. There is a version of you that is fully awakened, fully empowered, fully free, and there is a version of you that remains asleep, bound by limitation, repeating old cycles. Which one do you choose? Because the choice is always yours, and the way you choose is not through thought alone, but through embodiment. If you want to shift into the timeline where you are thriving, you must become the version of yourself that already thrives. If you want to step into abundance, you must feel abundant now. If you want to experience love, you must be love now. Because reality is not something you chase, it is something you align with. This is why the most powerful shifts do not come from external effort, but from internal transformation. And that transformation begins with awareness. Right now, bring your attention to this moment. Feel the air around you. Feel the stillness beneath the thoughts. Notice that beyond the mental noise, beyond the emotions, beyond the endless stream of thinking, there is something else. There is you. Not the stories, not the past, not the roles you play, but the awareness behind it all. That awareness is the key, because the moment you step into pure awareness, you step out of the illusion of limitation. You realize that you are not your thoughts, you are not your fears, you are not even your body. You are consciousness itself. And consciousness is limitless. This is why the great sages spoke of enlightenment not as something to be attained, but as something to be remembered. Because you were never truly lost. You only believed you were. And now you are waking up to the truth that you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe. Waking up to the truth that time is not something you are moving through. You are the one creating time. Waking up to the truth that the reality you once thought was happening to you was always happening through you. And the more you awaken, the more you realize that reality itself is fluid, that the walls you once thought were unbreakable were never there to begin with, that what you once called fate was simply the momentum of unconscious creation, that you have always had the power to shift, to expand, to transcend. The only question is, are you ready? Are you ready to step beyond the illusion? Are you ready to stop living by default and start creating with intention? Because if you are, then everything changes. Not gradually, not slowly, but in an instant. Because the moment you shift your awareness, reality shifts with you. Not because reality is changing, but because you are seeing it differently. And when you see differently, you choose different. And when you choose differently, the quantum field responds. This is the secret. This is the truth that has been hidden in plain sight. And now you hold the key. The question is, what will you do with it? Because in this moment right now, you are shaping your future. In this moment right now, you are stepping into a new version of yourself. Not someday, not later, but now. The past does not matter. The future is unwritten. Only this moment is real, and in this moment, you are limitless. The moment you realize that time is not what it seems, that reality is not as solid as you once believed, and that you are not separate from the universe but one with it, everything changes. Because now you understand that you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You are no longer waiting for things to change. You are no longer trapped in a story written by past experiences. You are rewriting the script. And this is where most people hesitate. Because stepping into this truth means taking full responsibility for your reality. It means recognizing that everything in your life, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the painful, has been a reflection of your own consciousness. Not as punishment, not as a test, but as a mirror. A mirror showing you exactly what you've been vibrating, exactly what you've been believing, exactly what you've been expecting. But here's the good news. The mirror does not hold on to the past. It simply reflects what you give it in the present, which means the moment you change your inner state, the mirror must change. This is not wishful thinking. This is not blind optimism. This is quantum law. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not just abstract ideas. They are electromagnetic signals being broadcast into the field, and the field responds in kind. If you hold on to doubt, the field reflects uncertainty. If you hold on to fear, the field mirrors situations that reinforce that fear. If you hold on to the belief that change is slow, difficult, and rare, then that becomes your reality. But the opposite is also true. If you hold on to certainty, the field reflects clarity. If you hold on to love, the field mirrors connection and harmony. If you hold on to the belief that transformation can happen instantly, then you will begin to see reality shift in ways that defy logic. Because logic is based on the old paradigm, the paradigm of separation, the paradigm of limitation, the paradigm of time as a rigid linear force. But you are now stepping into a new paradigm, a paradigm where time is fluid, where reality bends to consciousness, where transformation happens the moment you align with it. So let's take this deeper. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the version of yourself that already exists in the reality you desire. The version of you that is confident, certain, empowered. The version of you that moves through life with clarity, knowing that they are shaping every moment with their energy. See that version of you. Feel them. How do they stand? How do they breathe? How do they speak? Because here's the truth. That version of you is not out there in the future. They are here right now in the quantum field. You are not becoming them. You are tuning into them. You do not have to struggle, force, or chase. You simply have to embody the frequency of that version of yourself, and reality will begin to shift accordingly. This is how manifestation truly works. Not by wishing, not by hoping, but by being. By stepping into the energy of the life you desire before it physically appears. Because energy comes first. Matter follows. Science has already shown this. The double-slit experiment proved that particles do not take on a fixed form until they are observed, which means that reality is not something waiting for you in the future. It is something waiting for you to observe it into form. But what happens when you observe reality through the lens of fear, through the lens of doubt, through the lens of old, conditioned beliefs? The quantum field responds accordingly. It collapses into a version of reality that matches your perception. This is why most people feel stuck. Not because they are trapped, but because they are holding on to a perception of reality that no longer serves them. And the moment you let go of that perception, the moment you stop expecting struggle, the moment you stop believing in limitations, everything changes. Not because the universe suddenly decides to reward you, but because you finally stop resisting what has always been available to you. The quantum field has never been against you. It has never withheld anything from you. It has simply been waiting for you to step into alignment with what you desire, because in the end the field can only reflect what you believe to be possible. And now you are beginning to see that anything is possible. You are beginning to see that time is an illusion, that separation is a construct, that limitation is a lie you were conditioned to believe. And as you see this, something shifts inside of you. That old identity, the one that thought it was small, the one that thought it was powerless, the one that thought it had to fight and struggle, it begins to dissolve. And in its place, a new awareness emerges, an awareness that is not bound by the past, not limited by old stories, not confined by the expectations of the world. An awareness that knows, deep down, that it is infinite, that it is the Creator, that it is, and always has been, the universe experiencing itself. So now the only question is, what will you create? Because from this moment forward, you are no longer a passive observer. You are no longer waiting for reality to change. You are shaping it, with every thought, with every emotion, with every expectation. You are no longer living unconsciously, repeating old patterns. You are stepping into mastery. The mastery of energy, the mastery of awareness, the mastery of reality itself. And the greatest secret of all, it was never outside of you. It was never hidden, never distant, never something you had to earn. It was within you, all along. And now you are waking up to it. Now you are remembering, now you are becoming. Because you were never just a person. You were never just a mind. You were never just a body moving through time. You were, and are, the consciousness behind it all. You are the creator. You are the observer. You are the field. And now that you know this, nothing will ever be the same again. So now you stand at the edge of something new, a doorway between what was and what can be. A moment of realization so profound that once you step through it, there is no turning back. Because now, you see that reality was never something happening to you, it was something responding to you. You see that time is not pulling you forward, you are moving through it, selecting experiences based on your focus, your beliefs, your energy. You see that the version of yourself you once longed to become was never distant, never separate. It was always here, waiting for you to align. And with this knowing comes a choice. You can continue living as you always have, waking up each day expecting the same reality, repeating the same patterns, reinforcing the same limitations. Or you can choose something different. You can choose to wake up every day with the understanding that you are shaping your world, that every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold is casting a vibration into the quantum field, calling back to you experiences that match your energy. You can choose to observe differently, to stop looking for what is wrong, what is missing, what is broken, and instead look for what is expanding, what is flowing, what is already aligning in your favor. You can choose to embody the frequency of the reality you desire before it manifests, knowing that the moment you become a vibrational match for it, the quantum field must respond. Because it is not a question of if, it is a question of when you are ready to receive it. And when you are, the shift is instant. Because in truth you are not waiting on reality. Reality has always been waiting on you. So ask yourself, what will you choose? Will you continue to believe in the limitations you were taught? Or will you step into the infinite potential that has always been yours? Will you continue waiting for external proof before you believe? Or will you believe first and let the universe rearrange itself around your knowing? Will you continue seeing yourself as separate, small, powerless? Or will you embrace the truth that you are the universe, experiencing itself through the eyes of a human? Because once you decide, truly decide, the illusion collapses. The old reality fades. The struggle, the doubt, the fear. It all dissolves into nothingness. And in its place, infinite possibility. You have never been a prisoner of your past. You have never been bound by the rules of time. You have never been at the mercy of fate. You have always been the architect, the observer, the creator. And now you remember. So as you take your next breath, feel the energy shift within you. Feel the old limitations cracking, breaking apart, fading like mist in the morning sun. Because you are stepping into something new. A new level of awareness, a new level of creation, a new level of reality itself. And the best part? This is just the beginning. Because now that you see, now that you know, you will never look at the world the same way again. And with every moment, every thought, every choice, you are shaping something extraordinary. Not because you are trying, not because you are forcing, but because you are being. You are aligned. You are limitless. And the universe? It is already responding.